Cheers. With your plastic straw. Unbelievable.
Fuck that metal straw shit.
All right.
Couldn't do it.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Animal Whisperer 1.
Yep. That's
Olivia Bernardo. What's another nickname?
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What was your spam name?
Olive oil brunettes.
Yeah.
For like 3 years.
What is it now? The Animal Whisperer?
Ice Baby.
Ice Baby.
I don't know where that one came from.
Anyways, thank you for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
I think this is like, thank you for coming on the show. It's like, I actually got the dual camera because shout out to Liv because she's a photographer.
Yeah, because I take photography, elective and shit.
So.
Can I swear?
Of course.
Okay.
Fuck. Demonetize
okay.
me, YouTube.
Fuck, my mom literally, she gets embarrassed, like, whenever I'm talking and there's, like, her friends there. She's like, Olivia, you need to shut the fuck up. Because, I say fuck too much.
Yeah. I say bro a lot.
I call everybody bro and like I feel so bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to wheel a girl and you call her bro.
I call every guy bro. Everybody.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Olivia got new tattoos, and one of my major like kind of goals that I want to do is get a tattoo, and I have a whole story behind mine. But I do, since it's officially on yours.
Yeah,
your
on
body,
my body.
I want you to talk about it. I just want because if it's on your body forever, it's gonna be meaningful, you know?
Yeah,
so.
And I don't know, like just quick backstory. Michael and I have known each other forever, literally since elementary school, since we were like.
We used to call on home phones. You know, my dad was like, "Who's doing the podcast?" And I'm like.
Do you remember the girl
that used to call on the home phone and I used to hog the phone and we used to talk about Annoying Orange and that
I RSVP'd for your birthday party, I think your 10th birthday, and I called your house and I'm like, hi, I went to answering machine.
Yo, those got me so nervous.
I was like, hi Michael, it's Olivia calling. I just want to let you know I am coming to your birthday party. Cool. I'm so excited. But yeah, we used to call each other. But I don't know if you remember, like I have such a vivid memory. I memorize everything. I have a photographic memory. Like I'm going to talk about it later too. Like when I die, donate my brain to science because there's something that is so different with my head. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But there's just something that is not normal and I've learned that. But I have a vivid memory and I remember when we were in grade 6, we were sitting outside at recess.
Oh my god, the portable kids.
Yeah, we were sitting behind the portable on the wooden stairs. And we were literally talking about tattoos, and I vividly remember. Do you remember like Yanni and stuff?
Yeah.
We were all talking about. Like, he was saying he didn't want tattoos, and I was like, I could never get a tattoo because I can't imagine having something stuck on my body my whole life.
It was I think it was 7.
Grade 6, grade 7, around that time.
Met Yanni in grade 7ish.
Yeah, so
maybe
I was like,
6.
literally, like I'd want to I'd get sick of it. Like, you know when you have pen on your hand and you just want to get it off.
You did do that a lot, like write on yourself. Like,
yeah, I used to draw all over. My
drawings.
mom would get so pissed. I used to thin Sharpie. I'd cover my whole hand up to like my elbow.
You actually did. I actually remember
all
that.
the time.
Yeah.
I guess I was like the artistic side coming out. But
and now it's finally on you.
Yeah, now I finally have tattoos. I didn't think I would ever get them because my mom was always strict. Like, hated tattoos, hated piercings. Now here I am, have everything pierced. So I literally turned 18 and I went full blown. And that's what my tattoo artist was saying when he was like literally tattooing me. He was just like, we were talking about piercings and then now he's doing my tattoos. And I was saying like, yeah, I literally turned 18 and I just went full blown. I went to DreamWorks. If you need a good tattoo place, if you're looking at getting like really detailed, amazing quality, DreamWorks, fucking love DreamWorks. Yeah, I've gotten all my piercings there.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah, I've done my tattoos there now, and it's like you do get what you pay for. Like, it's so worth it. I recommend it to everybody, even all my piercings.
Shit, I might
like,
have to go.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe mine's probably like in a year. But
yeah, I book now because my brother booked his, and his is in 2 years.
Oh my god.
His artist is backed up until 2022.
That's fucking insane.
Just for half sleeve too. I never expected to get tattoos. It wasn't something I thought about for a long time. My mom made a comment once. We were all sitting in the backyard. This was literally in June. And she made a comment saying I want to get yours and your brother's name tattooed. And I was like, what? My mom just said that? Even to get my piercings, I had to convince her for a while. I just got my nose pierced. I just got my belly pierced. She doesn't know about my nipple, but everything. I'm not telling her. Yeah, I'm not telling her about that.
What if she watches this?
She won't. She's not gonna know. She doesn't even know we're filming.
Oh, okay.
Nobody tell my mom. Maybe cut it out. I don't know.
Okay.
So she said, I want to get yours and your brother's name tattooed. And I was like, listen, I think this is a good time to tell you we both want tattoos like really, really bad. And then I was like, you have to let us do it. So then that's when I really started, like, I always knew I wanted something for my grandmother, because like my grandmother was such a big role in my life. Like, literally grew up in her arms, like in that house. Like, I grew up in her care. When it wasn't my mom, it was my grandmother. And I have some of my best childhood moments, like, were in that house, like being little, me and my brother goofing around. So when she passed away, like, it hit me hard. It was something that, like, she was suffering for a long time, so it was like,
she made it through though.
Yeah,
right?
My grandmother lived until like 98. She was probably older too, because they all lied about their age. Like, all their papers got burnt in the wars.
Mine don't know too sometimes. And it was funny because he doesn't, his birthday on his certificate says October something, like I think it was like 10th or something, but like he says, okay, no, my birthday is October 30th.
Yeah, and they always change it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Who knows? But I knew I wanted something for my grandmother, and then also with my family situation, like, it's just me, my mom, and my brother, so I wanted something to represent me, my mom, and brother. So I ended up getting the angel. You can insert pictures if you want, because I don't want to like flash the camera. But I got an angel on my ribs. I did my left rib, and the angel's flying inwards. Kind of to represent like my grandmother. It's kind of like my guardian angel. I'm very like, I believe in the evil eye. I believe you have your angels. I believe in all that.
You rock the evil eye. Where's all your bracelets?
I'm not wearing them right now.
This is the most bare I've ever seen your wrists.
Yeah, I have my nut. I always, if anybody knows me, my wrists were covered in bracelets.
Yeah, I remember.
All the time. I had dangly bracelets. I love jewelry. I literally necklace, rings, bracelets, everything. But I'm going easy. I'm taking a break. Give my wrists a bit of a break. But I ended up getting the angel for her, kind of to represent, you know, she's always there. She's my guardian angel. And I got like a cherub style angel. I don't know if like you're familiar with like Renaissance kind of art. I've always really loved like I've been in the arts like my whole life. I was into visual arts. I was into dancing. I was like very tossed into the art field. So I really like that Renaissance kind of art, like the Da Vinci kind of style art. So I found like a little cherub angel, and I feel like that also ties into like my personality too, because it's cool, kind of like
tattoos are beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's been tied to like not only with my grandmother, but it also ties into me, like and like the meaning
and your backstory and your like passion for art.
Yeah, and then on my ankle, originally I was gonna do 3 butterflies. That was the original plan, but to represent me, my mom, and brother. But I ended up switching that because you just feel like it's like the generic infinity tattoo of 2010. Like, it's just, I feel like it's, right, it's so common. And anybody I told butterflies, they're like, butterflies? Like, and if you like anybody who knows like me, I don't like being like very basic. Like, you know me, like, I don't like, sometimes I am. Like, I'm very like generic, but I like having that bit of like something that's different, something that stands out. So I ended up switching it. It was just like by chance. I got the wreath of the olive branches. And I'm half Greek, but my mom's side is Greek. My grandmother that like I got the tattoo for is Greek. I'm very close with my Greek side. I'm Greek and Italian, but I've always been closer to the Greek side. I was just brought up on that side a bit more, been around that side of my family more. And in Greek, like, the olive branch is a very powerful symbol. And also when it's in that wreath form, a lot of Greeks and people of like European culture normally symbolize that. It's also my name, like being Olivia, it kind of means olive branch when you really translate
Look at that,
it. Yeah, so it all ties in together with like me.
Is that a Greek name? Well, most of them come from Greek names. Like, Michael's a Greek name.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like, is it Olivia? Sounds like olive.
Let me see.
So yeah, I ended up getting the Greek olive branch, because it's very like symbolic in the Greek culture. It kind of means hope, that strength.
Yeah, it does. It means olive tree.
Yeah, it's almost like a lot of people symbolize it with victory. A lot of like, it's just so large. Like, everyone knows like Greece, they think of like olive oil. You know?
Symbol of peace.
I was originally gonna get the word family tattooed in it, but in Greek writing, but I ended up taking that out like last minute because I knew it's on my ankle, so it's in like a pretty visible spot. So I did both of the pieces together, both tattoos, same day, same time. So they gave me a little bit of a break. My artist charges like $150 an hour, but he was pretty fast, so it ended up coming out to like $450 by the end.
For both of them?
For both, yeah.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting way more. I was expecting like it to touch $1,000. Like even though they're very small pieces, it's like I thought it would have taken a lot longer. But he was super fast. But yeah, I don't know. Like I would do it again. I would do like my whole body if I could.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna get?
I already have so many ideas. But I literally left the shop.
Do you want like a sleeve?
I can't. I want to be a lawyer. So like that's why even the ankle was very, very. I was hesitant because like as a girl, like your ankle is kind of exposed like pretty much all the time.
No, but you gotta understand like it's that this is. Do you want to? I'll finish your point, and then I'm gonna get onto.
Yeah, well, like because I want to be a lawyer, like I know by the time we're getting hired, it's kind of more our generation is in that field. But I feel like fields such as like medical, like legal fields, stuff like that. I feel like it's very. They have this kind of entitlement, like a superiority kind of thing.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it's gonna...
it's very old school, so I don't know if it'll change.
No,
I don't think it will.
It's new generation, I feel like if we're going on the topic of like how tattoos are like looked at now versus then it was like people. I don't know if this is facts, but I'm thinking about it like logically. Tattoos started from like tribes, right? This is what I'm thinking. I didn't research any of this, but I always talk about this because it makes sense. Tattoos started from tribes. The Aboriginals, the Europeans, whatever, like the mask on their face, they had specific
I remember
symbolism.
Even like learning in like indigenous, when we were doing indigenous study, and we even had one of the guys come in. He was like lived on a reserve, and he showed us all his tattoos
of his meaning,
and they were so symbolic. Like he's like, you put this here on your hand so that way when you shake somebody else's hand, they see what tribe you're from. Like they were all so symbolic and so well thought out by like placement, what it meant, how you're interacting with other people, how it symbolized it. Like it was insane. Like I was so fascinated by their tattoos.
And that's exactly what I was saying. I think it came from there, and then it started turning to like gang related, right? Prison tattoos, right?
Yeah, I feel like they have that bad rap.
And like the teardrop for like if you kill someone, and like different gangs have different like tattoos and signs. Like to mark something on your skin for the rest of your life shows commitment, and I feel like it's tied so much with like the gang related. And if someone has tattoos all over their body, they're affiliated with some sort of gang or some sort of bad thing. And I feel like over time, especially now, in 2000s and 2010s, people really started to appreciate more of the artistry of the tattoo rather than the resemblance. So when people have a whole sleeve, it's a lot more accepted.
Yeah, it's like a storytelling.
Right? Rather than having like a whole sleeve and thinking, oh, that guy's a junkie because he has a sleeve. And that's what I try to get to my mom. It's like, look, it started off good. Tribal, like you said, symbolism, and tattoos are meanings that are meanings and morals that are going to be on your body for the rest of your life. If I had the same mindset in grade 2 and I had the same mindset in like 4th year of university, I'm gonna have the same mindset when I'm 80 years old and can't walk. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. My uncles have tattoos, and I'm like, what is it? What do they mean? What do they mean? And I love telling. I feel like it's such a huge conversation starter. That's why when you have tattoos that are exposed, they're so much more meaningful, because instead of you telling people something, they're like, what's that? And they ask you for it, right? So it's such a good conversation starter. And that's why when I was filming with Seba Bunil's older brother, Chris, this is my boy Justin. I met him there, such a sick guy. Had such a blast with those guys. I asked him what the tattoos meant. And this guy had a whole fucking story. Such a heartfelt story. Like, I'm going to get him on the podcast soon, and maybe you could share it, because I don't want to break it up. But his parents died, both of them in a car crash, and he got adopted. And he got his first tattoo without the parents knowing, or the adopted parents knowing, like his aunt, his uncle, I think. And it was such a good story, and I'm like, damn, like that's art right there. That's symbolism. And I hope every single person that you tell understands. It's like they understand you a little bit more, right? So when I was thinking of my tattoo idea, I was thinking about it for years. I always wanted to get something good versus bad. That was the main thing, because I've done so many assignments and projects, and all the music that I listen to is all about good versus bad. Temptation, right? Damn, the album behind you is literally talking about wickedness or weakness, right? So these two balance beams, right? It's all about balance. It's all about balance. Good and bad is something I need on my body, because I always feel like everything's a choice. So I got this chain. This chain is for, it represents Born Sinner, right? Which is one of J. Cole's album. We're a born sinner, but we'll die better than that. So it's like we're born to be bad, right? Or we're born to be good. And we either choose to let the bad take over us, or we could reach out for the good and let whatever faith or whatever you believe in, right? Good decisions. Because naturally, we always want to go to the bad because it's easier. The easy way out, right? Well, whether I should do my homework or go to a party, right? Party sounds a lot more fun than sitting in my room on a Friday night. But do I got to do my homework because maybe then I'm not rushed, or maybe I understand the lesson tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? So these are all these things, like good and bad, are all these things that I want on my body. And I always preach about it. I always talk about it. It always comes up in conversations. The lyrics that I listen to, especially KOD, the whole album was talking about temptation, right? Kids using drugs to make them feel better, right? Choose wisely. I want to pull up a clip on my YouTube video. I remember I vlogged it. I don't know which one it was, but on my phone case before grade 9, I had choose wisely with a homeless man and a successful man. And obviously that's very stereotypical, but the fact that I had that quote 4 years even before J. Cole even put that in his album, obviously it's a common quote. So I want to show you what I wanted to get. It's Saint Michael the Archangel. Yeah. Right? And it's, you could look at it while I talk about it. So the whole meaning between
my
that.
My grandmother had this in her house. It's a big symbol, like in the Greek church.
It's huge. So when I was thinking about that picture, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that picture. I thought about, I want something good versus bad. So I was thinking of getting an angel wing and a devil wing on my fingers to show two different things. Or I was going to get a devil whispering in my ear and an angel whispering in my ear to show that two different sides of the story. But then I'm like, hey, well, if I have a neck tattoo as my first tattoo, it's gonna look kind of fucking weird, right? Especially when I go shirtless and it just ends, right? Maybe they could fade it out, and that's exposed every single day. I'm never gonna hide it or anything, so it's a big thing. It's a big jump, and I didn't want that as my first tattoo. And then I'm thinking about, I don't know, something. You know, when I started, you were in my philosophy class, so it was an essay. What was it? The worldview assignment. Yeah. The worldview assignment, and I chose what is good. And I literally poured my heart out on that because I loved it so much. I love that course. I don't even know what I got on it, to be honest. Or got in it. I didn't even check. But I enjoyed that course so much. And it talked about what is good. And it's like, good is the avoidance of evil. And I'm like, when it's summed up in that, I'm like, holy shit. Good versus bad. Temptation, KOD. I was like, holy fuck, wickedness, weakness, everything's connecting, right?
Yeah, and I feel like it's so cliche, but I feel like the most cliche things are the ones that like hold the most meaning too. It's like, no matter what, wherever you find good, there is bad. Like, no matter what you have, there's a good side and there's a bad side. Whenever there's no one direct path, you know, everything has a sense of balance. Everything always has two sides to it.
You could prove anything wrong if you have reason behind it. So I was thinking about it and I'm like, hey, good, bad, devil, angel, that's what I want. Maybe I was, and then there was like little things where there was a tattoo of face of an angel, but if you looked at it the wrong way, it was like a devil, right? So it's like, that's fire, where am I gonna put it, right? But then all of a sudden, Chance the Rapper's line came in from Ultralight Beam. It's like, foot on the devil's neck, I drifted this shit like Pangea, right? I'm like, oh, what the fuck does that mean? Because I did in grade 10, I did an assignment about we had to do like a religion song, and we had to take it and we had to embrace, like, explain what the song meant. And I'm like, oh my god, it was Saint Michael the Archangel. Yeah. So then everything just light bulb moment, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is it. And then it went all the way back to grade 2. I don't know if you remember this. It went all the way back to grade 2 where we had to do our patron saint assignment, and everyone was getting these pictures of their angels, and they were making their title pages all fancy. They didn't even go fuck about the writing. They were just focusing on the title page because it was the first time we get to use the computers. And it was like, everyone was like, had prayers and saints and crosses and stuff. And I'm over here with this badass angel stepping on the devil with the fucking black wings. And I'm like, yeah, that's my fucking guardian angel, right? Yeah. And then that picture snapped in my head and I searched it up and I'm like, it came in. It was like a light bulb moment. Like, it was like, this is it. And ever since that, I've been thinking about it. So what I did, instead of getting a tattoo, I got a pendant of it. Because I want to know if this is just a phase, if this is just a fad that I want, right? Now, and then in a year from now, I'm going to be like, oh, whatever. then I'm not going to get it, because I don't think tattoos are going to be like that. But until then, I'm going to keep telling the same exact story. And that's why I have it on my neck, because when everyone asks about it, I tell the exact same story. And I love telling the story because it was such a wholesome moment. And if you really look deep into it, remember when I was talking about what this meant? Remember I said about balance? Look what he's holding.
Yeah, the
justice
balance scale.
A justice scale, a balance beam between good and bad. And it's leading one way, meaning that the good is overriding the bad, because he's stepping on the devil's neck. Stepping on the devil's neck meaning like stepping on temptation, choosing the good, right? And then I researched about Saint Michael the Archangel, and I remember him being a devil, rising from the dead, and fighting for God, fighting for heaven. I'm not the most religious person, but I do have faith. I do believe in something that there's, like, everything happens for a reason. Like, I believe in that, and I believe in fate, right? So with this on my neck, it always represents, like, this angel is my guardian angel. When you said that, I'm like, holy like, this is, I relate to that. This is my guardian angel looking over me on the ground as like a born sinner, as someone who is forced to choose bad, but digs deep down, he's good, right? And there's a line in J. Cole's song, he goes, I'm a born sinner, but I die better than that. So saying that, you know, people are born to be bad, people are born to be good, right? But as you go through life, the environment you're around, the people you're around, the things you listen to are all going to change your whole mindset, right? And once you figure out that part, right? Look at Nick. He hated J. Cole. I think when he started getting a little bigger and he started getting a little taller, he didn't gain confidence. Every single thing I told him in like grade 6, grade 7, when I did like Secret to Life speeches. Remember those?
Yeah.
All those speeches, the motivation speech, the secret to success, all these motivations came from role models that I had. And I believe that I chose to like them. And I think that it led to an overall like better person, better me. And these decisions that I made to watch them and commit to them, and, you know, perseverance all the way from grade 5 when I had like long ass fucking hair. Remember that shit? And I think that these people were my role models, and the role models that you make and the people you follow are the people you're gonna be, right? And like that's why I think music is such a big thing.
Yeah.
Because the music that you listen to, and you surround yourself that, you put that in your brain every single day, whether it's, you know, 21 Savage talking about gang banging, right? Or Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. It's just fire fucking
the way he fucking says pussy. I don't know why it's so addictive to listen to. I'm like, I'm literally in the car, I'm like, pussy.
The music you listen to really make up your character.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? Anyways, let's cover TikTok. How about that?
Oh boy,
let's talk
I
about
don't know about TikTok.
I mean, your TikTok audience is definitely gonna watch this.
I don't know. TikTok's weird. Honestly, I feel like it's such a toxic. Like, I don't want to be that kid that's like, TikTok is toxic, but like, I felt like I'm not even trying to talk like I'm famous. Like, I'm really not. Like, I got 27K from shaking my ass. It was literally like, I literally said it to my friend, and I was like, if I post this, watch, I'm gonna get a random like spree of followers. And I did it. I had like literally like maybe 100 followers, and then it almost hit like 1 million views, and then I had like, now I'm at like 27K. And I don't post regularly. Like, I'm a very camera shy person. Like, even though I'm in the arts, like, I was literally a dancer, like competing, like performing on stage in front of like tons and tons of people. Like, you have all that attention on you. I'm so camera shy. Like, I can't handle like people take pictures of me. Even like doing a podcast like this and having a camera on me, it's very out of my comfort zone. Having like all the attention on me, cameras on me, it always made me like super uncomfortable. I was a very shy, timid kid growing up. I don't know if you like remember me, but I was very in my shell. It took me a long time, and I didn't gain that confidence until I started like dancing. That's what I want to say, around maybe grade 7, 8, when I was like 13, 14 is when I really...
we bought webkins to school.
Oh yeah, and I used to paint my nails at recess with my friends, glow in the dark justice nail polish, like...
Sorry. When you talked about like as a kid, I'm just like...
My childhood, like, it's such a story. Like, I wish I could just talk about my childhood all the time. I have so many funny stories. But that's when I kind of started gaining confidence. But doing stuff, like, and I just feel like there's so much pressure. Like, even I go live on TikTok sometimes, and I feel like there's just so much pressure. Like, you don't know what to talk about, or there's so many things you want to talk about. There's so many things I want to do. And it was, like, the fear of, like, judgment. Like, even through high school, like, I want to say high school, I kind of ghosted. Like, I was kind of a focal point in elementary school. Like, how I was even talking to you about that. Like, our friend group was like small, whatever. But as soon as I got into high school, like I did have that fear of judgment. Like I got bullied a lot in my life. So that always stopped me from doing things I wanted to in fear of what other people were going to think. And I didn't even start posting on TikTok until we literally went into quarantine. Because it was just something that it's like, if I posted this and then I'm going to go to school the next day, like everyone's going to talk about it. Everyone's going to see it. Everybody I know, like what if they see me and then they're thinking of it and they're judging me? And I was always afraid of judgment of other people. And that's what held me back for so long. Like I never expanded with dance. I was always afraid of people knowing me, watching what I was doing, because I just didn't want that judgment. Even with my art, I was very timid about my art. Like I always excelled in like visual art and stuff like that, performance wise. And it's like I was always afraid of that judgment. Like what if one person doesn't like it? What if like, I don't know. So like even being on TikTok, it's weird because sometimes I post something and then I'm like, oh my god, maybe I should delete it, because like what if my friends from high school see it, or what if people that like don't like me see it? And it's just like you have that constant...
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and you do. And like now that I have a somewhat following base, like it's not like it's just my friends. Like I don't just have 100 followers on it. I have 27K. Not to like sound like, that's so much, true. But it's like 27K is still 27K. Right? That's 27K
even though 27K
people
followed you for that like a video.
Yeah, or something, one video that you post.
They still pop up on your feed, and you know. I don't mean to cut you off, but I just kind of, because if I don't say it, I'm gonna
go for it. You're gonna forget.
Starting like even YouTube itself, like it's a lot of, I wasn't super popular on it, but I grew fast from one video that was clickbait, and it sucked because all the videos that I hated to do got the most views, right? And all the videos that I loved got the least views. And
that's it's kind of like it drove you.
It's like, you know what? Do I gotta fucking make box forts until I'm fucking 18?
I don't know, like, even with TikTok, like, I did that Laffy Taffy dance, and it's literally, like, 2 seconds of twerking, whatever. I literally posted it as a joke. I was like, this is gonna blow up. Like, this is my one shot, guys. Though. Literally, the caption on that video is, this is my one chance to blow up. And I was joking. Like, I wasn't even wearing makeup. I was literally wearing, like, track pants. Like, the track pants kind of shorts and a tank top. Like, my hair was in, like, a little... messy ass ponytail, like my hair was probably dirty as fuck, like and it's like I posted that and I got a bunch of followers, and then I'm really like I'm not good at transitions, but I love transitions on TikTok. People who do transitions, like there's this one girl, Reagan777. I'm absolutely in love with that girl. I literally like every single one of her videos. She does crazy transitions. She has such a cool vibe. Cool, like, and it's like I posted the shoe it's a shoe transition and like an outfit transition, and it's like it wasn't perfect, but it was like something I was like, wow, one of the transitions was super clean, and I posted it. I was like, fuck, this is gonna blow up, this looks so sick, and it only got like 27K views, and then like compared to the video of me shaking my ass for 2 seconds got almost 1 million.
And that's how it is.
And it's like
look at the clickbait.
It's the same as like with how you were saying with YouTube. It's like the stuff you don't want to post always gets attention, and the stuff that you're like proud of, it kind of falls on the back burner. And it's like it's discouraging. It makes you not want to post. It makes you not want to be active. And it's like I do have that fear of judgment still, because it's like sometimes I post something, I delete it. Because I'm like, what are people going to think of, like, me? What are they going to think of this? Like, is it going to do well? It's going to look so stupid if it doesn't get attention, if it doesn't blow up. And then it's just discouraging.
You got to
like,
let go, though. Honestly.
I know. And you can't let something like that hold you back. Like, a lot of the stuff I have posted, I would not post if I was still in high school.
Do you think that these podcasts that I'm doing are going to get thousands of views? No. I'm probably going to get fucking, like, 20, 15, or, like, 100 most. Because they're fucking... they're like an hour long.
It's hard.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing this for me. Like, I literally, the only reason I say in all my podcasts, and I want to reiterate this again, I'm not doing this for views. I never did it for views. I mean, before, maybe in grade 9, because it looked good, right? Oh, 4,000 followers. Look at this guy getting 70K on a fucking box fort. Okay, 70K, let me do a bigger one. 64K. Okay, now let me do it in the water. 2K. What?
Yeah.
That was the best one. You know? I fucking and it sucked because little stupid skits I did one with Izzo, right? And I'm like, Izzo, let me grab you and show your ass because I want to fucking get clickbait or something, right? And it's like
Because that's what draws people in,
and
it's
it kind of sucked. It was like, the fucking video was shit. I literally did it in 20 minutes, and it got 20K, like, I don't know how many views, right?
Even, like, I post my art sometimes. Like, I'll do videos of me and my art, things like... And I stopped doing that because, like, I'd post it 100 views, and I have 27K followers, and it's literally got 100, 200, 300
but you understand,
views.
like, it's...
And it's something that you're passionate about.
You can't post for... You can never post for views, and that's one thing I learned. It's like, you can't make songs for streams. You can't make videos thinking that you're going to get famous. You just got to keep going. Just keep posting. And one thing will latch onto another, and people will appreciate it. And then when one person appreciates it, then a referral. My favorite videos are the ones that I talk to the camera. I talk to myself about. All my teen talk videos I love. One of my favorite videos was when I cried on camera, because it was like the lowest of my low.
Even one of my TikToks, I was crying, blew up.
Yeah.
No reason.
Because people have empathy and stuff. Yeah. But some people could take it the wrong way, and you gotta understand that if you're posting public, you have to understand people will hate. And I feel like people hate because of jealousy. I got a good mindset. I got a good head on my shoulder. And they don't, right? Yeah. And that's why they try to, put me down any other way, right? And there's so many people, like, that I talk to all the time. And they always say, yeah, some people say this and this about you. And I defend you because I know that they're jealous of something. And then once you have that mindset, it's kind of like, yo... I'm going to shake my ass if I want to shake my ass.
Instead of saying, this is the only time I can do it.
Yeah, instead of saying, like, or I'm going to post what I want to post, right? Just because it's like, you got to focus on, like, judgment, as in, like, a thing. Like, why? Why do people do it? When Socrates says, an unexamined life is not worth living, that quote, I want it tatted on me. And the only reason I want it tatted on me is because... I said this in another podcast. I keep repeating my shit, but I don't give a fuck. Whatever. It means more to me, and that's why I repeat it. And it's different context every time, so I want to repeat it. Like, why do people judge, right? If you dig deep into that, okay, maybe because they're jealous. Maybe because they want what you have, but they don't. Maybe because your body's better than theirs. Maybe because you're more confident than they are, and they want to put you down because they're less confident in themselves, right? Do I engage it? How do I do it? Like, analyzing everything. And I feel like when I analyze things, right, and I talk about things, and I speak it out, and I speak my mind, I kind of realize what's important and what's not. Every time I have a thought in my head about something, right, I have a notepad, notes, right, and every time I'm thinking about something, whether it's stress, whether it's girls, whether it's, I don't know, fucking work, school, anything, right, I always think about why. What is it? What's going on in my head? Because I read a book called The Power of Now, and honestly, a quarter of the book, I understood. The rest read over my head. Yeah. But I realized that these little messages are the ones that I wanted to take, right? Everything happens for a reason. Maybe I blocked out all the other messages because they weren't as important. They didn't resonate. Right? They didn't resonate. So I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, okay, well, the things that I took out of that book is, living in the consciousness and having thoughts inside, deep down, unconscious. And the things that are bothering you every day when you wake up. What's going on? What's in my head, right? Why am I feeling like this? You dig deep down, you make them conscious, and then they just disappear, right? And it's cool. It's cool when you think about it like that. And that's why when I thought about an unexamined life is not worth living, literally it explains everything that I do.
Because there's so much that goes on, like, in your subconscious too, that you don't acknowledge. Like, I know it sounds, again, like it's always the cliche stuff.
People think about cliche things, right? The reason why it's cliches is because it's said too much. Why is it said too much?
Because it resonates, a lot of people resonate with it, right? And it's like, I don't know, there's always so much that goes on in your subconscious, and it's like, there is a lot of meaning to, like, your life. There's, like, it's such, like, a big thing that I don't even know how to put it into words, like, in a way that it'll make sense. Things just make sense in your head.
I think I had a sentence that always, like, kind of sums it up. It's like, why we were born. It's like, God put you on this earth, or whoever you believe in, put you on this earth to do one thing, to fulfill your purpose, right? Now it's up to you to find that out. Whether it is art, whether that is, fucking lawyer, whether that is a director, right?
And there's always, like, it's when there's so many signs that are given to you in life, and it's when you lack that attention. Like, that's when you talk about, like, an unexamined life. It's like, when you don't pay attention to those details, they just fly right over your head, and it's like you could be missing out on, like, all these little signs, all these little subliminal messaging that, like, I'm a very spiritual person. Like, I have my crystals, I have my little singing bowls. I believe in that. Like, there is a higher power. Like, I'm a very not religious person, like, extremely religious, but I do believe, like, I'm very strongly connected to my faith, and it's like, there are always these little signals that the universe is trying to communicate with you. Like, even how I was telling you earlier, I always see repetitive numbers, and that's actually another tattoo that I'm hoping to get down the road when I find out which one means the most, like, significantly to me. But, like, I want to say about 12 times a day at 222, 444, 777, 999, no matter what it is. Like, it's not even just on a clock, it's on buildings, it's on when I'm out, I see it literally everywhere, like, even just glancing at the time, and it's like, those numbers mean something, like, those things have meaning, and it's like...
What do you think they mean?
Well, I always look them up. If I show you my Safari, it's literally, what does 999 mean? What does 222 mean? And they're referred to as angel numbers, and a lot of them mean different things. So sometimes when you see 222 or 333, it means that, like, the universe is trying to communicate with you, or that your angels are telling you you're on the right path right now. So it's significant when you see those numbers and those signs, like, because I recognize them, I always check what they mean at that moment, because that's what your angels are kind of trying to communicate with you at that moment. And a lot of people are like, wow, Liv, like, you sound so stupid, like,
no, but it's
that
not
you believe in that.
It's just, it's hard to believe. It's like, you remember
and
the
it's
allegory of the cave,
right? It's because, like, I see them so frequently, and it's like, oh my god, this must have meaning. And it's like, sometimes they do resonate so well. Like, I'll literally be feeling so down, and it's like, this number means that your angels are telling you, like, hey, keep your head up, we're gonna bring you something better.
Do you believe in like signs, like when you're born? What are they called?
Like astrological signs?
Yeah.
I do, but, like, not to be that person that's like, oh, like, you're an Aquarius, like, I can't talk to you because you don't but I've done a lot more research into that, where I'm not just like, oh, like, my birthday's January 2nd, I'm a Capricorn, like, a lot of the stuff does connect to me, but there's a lot more to it. Like, I've been interested in astrology for a really, really long time, like, since I was small, because my mom used to teach me about it. And it's like, it all depends on where you're born, what time you're born, and it sounds so crazy, but it's literally the oldest science form, and that's why people think it sounds so like you're reaching, but when you really do analyze stuff and, like, you take all the important points, like, they do make sense. Like, you have a rising sign, you have your star sign, you have a sun sign, you know, and it's like, once you gather all that information, like, it's literally one of the very reliable sciences, because it's been studied for so long that like, they have so much information and data collected about it. Like, I feel like people are always like, oh, that shit's fake, because it's so just like, it sounds obscure, like, to think that, oh, because you were born at this time and the star was there, this is how it's going to affect your personality. But it actually, when you do research about it and you really go in depth, like, beyond just the generalization of it, you really start to understand, and you're like, wow, like, this is so creepy that this makes so much sense.
And that's why when I got a spark when I was talking about, like, figuring out what I wanted as a tattoo. And
it's the subliminal messaging, like, all those things, like why
balance,
did you remember those
good
things?
Good and bad. You know? My patron saint, the how it went all the way back to grade 2, right? How it went back to grade 10. Right, now to now, it's like there's like some sort of fulfilling, like, I need to get this.
Yeah, that's when, like, the examination of those signs is, like, so important.
But I want to make sure that it's important, and every single
it's not
day,
just a phase.
Every single day, that's why I have it on my neck, to, like, it's like my guardian angel to protect me, right? Because I want it on my body. I want a whole, like, this whole thing of it, right? And I believe in it so much, because it's like the music I listen to, the things that I'm attracted to, my philosophies and my morals. They're always like this. Even I'm fucking looking back at my YouTube videos, and my speech, my valedictorian speeches and my speeches. It's always like there's good and bad. Thoughts become things, and it's like, holy fuck. It's like I was meant to do this. I was meant to get this, right? Yeah. So that's why I want an unexamined life is not worth living. I want St. Michael the Archangel tatted on me, because I feel like these are symbolized messages that when random people come up to me at a bar or a party or get together or something, hey, what does that mean? That's pretty cool. I get to tell them all about it, and I'm you know, happy about it. I'm faithful about it. It's like there's no stupidity, right? There's nothing about that tattoo that will make it kind of oh that's kind of gaudy. Like, it's like, no, like, you could think it's gaudy, but this whole thing right here means everything. It symbolizes every single thing that I want, that I talked about, all my morals combined in one picture that I kind of found out of all of a sudden, right? This unexamined life is not worth living explains my conversations with everyone, right? Why I think the way I think, right? And there's another one that I want to get, which is J. Cole's Beauty in the Struggle, Ugliness in the Success. And I want it right over here. I don't know why. I like writing on the ribs. I feel like that's a cool spot. And I want it here because that quote is not only a lyric, right? I feel like lyrics are like not the best to get because I guess it's cliche. Everyone gets it, and how do you know you're gonna respect the lyric 20 years from now? But it's like that quote right there caught me in grade 7. When I was in that group, I always felt left out. Like I never felt like I was in. Everyone had their groups and pairs, right? The couples and stuff. And I was always just chilling. Like I was trying to reach. I was like, I shouldn't be here right now. Right? Yeah. So I always distracted myself. Let me play football. Let me do something else because I don't feel like I belong here. I feel like it's forced. And every day I feel like when everyone was talking after school and doing their thing, I just went straight home. And I walked through the forest and I played Love Yours over and over and over again because I needed self-realization. I felt like I was relying too much on other people, and I felt like with this song that explained my whole my story. I mean, I grew up in a good home, good parents, good everything, right? But I'm not complaining about that, but it's the message behind it. It's the self-love. I was always relying on people, other people, music, role models, anything else, right? My brothers to make plans. Like I was relying on everyone. I'm like, this is an empty hole in my heart, and this song filled it up. And the Love Yours and the beauty and the struggle, ugliness and the success, like everything that I'm learning about like now relates to then. And I'm like, I grew as a person, right? Not only as more confident because I love myself and I appreciated myself, and I felt like, you know what, I don't need to change for anyone, right? And I kept that throughout high school. And every single time I felt down, even now, like I was a little stressed out when I was, because I never really studied, right, in high school. I was always doing videos and I was kind of clutching it. Now I have so much things to study, and I'm getting a surgery, and I'm like, I don't fucking know how to study, and I don't know how to put this all in my brain, and I had to calm down. So I went to the same forest and I listened to the same song. And then I went, and then it kind of like reminding me of something, right? And I tried meditating. I can't right now, but I know I will.
It takes time.
And yeah, it was a given. And I remember in grade 8 or something, I wasn't feeling right. Something was off, and I didn't know what it was. So I remember waking up at 7 because my brother used to go to high school and stuff. And I rode my bike to that park, Starling Park, and I climbed that little rafter, like that yellow thing. And I just sat on top of it and watched the sunrise on the Canada's Wonderland, and I listened to Love Yours, and I just meditated, and it was myself, and it did something, yo. Like I was listening over and over and over again. Like all I was listening to, Lost Ones, Love Yours, and no role models. Like the beauty and the struggle, ugliness and the success. I believe in that 100% because I understand that when I'm down, there's beauty in it. When you're struggling, that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah. Right,
in the end, because it's so much more rewarding when you get something, when you struggle for it for so long, right? But when you finally get something, you finally get there. People live their whole life thinking that one thing is going to make them happy. Then they finally get that one thing, whether it's an Oscar or your first one case as a lawyer, and then you get it and you're just, fuck, this was not it. I gotta chase something else. And I feel like people will chase it forever and ever, right? The good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. And these lines are all coming from that one song, right? So this quote has this quote made me more confident, made me start my YouTube, which brought me into another path of confidence, right? Made me start my teen talks, made me become more woke, I guess, right? Made me like a better person, a more confident, and you know, some people like enjoy talking to me, and the people that enjoy talking to me, I put them on here, because it's like, look, I could talk forever, right?
Me
and
too.
That's what Teen Talks is about. Like I literally talk to a camera, and I'm like, you know what, fuck this, and I stopped it. And the only reason I stopped is because my social life was out the window.
Yeah. It's
like, fuck, I lost all my friends because every time I had to get to them, it was like a camera in their face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, maybe I gotta move it the right way, right? Maybe the Teen Talks is gonna be better because it's one-on-one. It's what I want to talk about, and conversations that I have, like these ones in high school, really meant the most to me. And I think that's one of the best things that happened in high school. The conversations I had with people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I want these recorded. I really feel that if a lot of people listen to these, it's gonna have some sort of relation, like relate.
Even
right?
if it just touches one person, like it's still that different.
Look, if 100 people watched it, whether they watched it twice,
they just have depth.
Yeah, depth in the conversation. A lot of people could just clinch onto it and relate to it and kind of feel some sort of peace. Because when I see someone struggling just like me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not alone, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense. And like, even kind of relating to what you're saying, it's like, if you really want to tie like this whole thing together.
Yeah.
Is everything good?
Yeah, no.
But if you really want to tie the whole thing together, and it's like you relate back to not knowing what people go through, you know? And it's like everybody has their own story, everybody has their own lives.
So
people
important.
tell their stories, for example, through tattoos. People go through things, they act on things, they put things out, like even us being very active social media wise. You put those things out on the internet to kind of send a message, maybe you're reaching for some sort of like communication with others, you're trying to get a point across, you're trying to tell a story, something that gives you closure. And it's like
there's so many people that just are you getting on this? Are we on the same page that like jump on it and kind of destroy something that you feel so
sometimes it's like you put all this energy, this effort into doing something, and like how I was saying, you have that fear of judgment. And that's kind of something I tried to let go of in high school, but it does get a little bit hard. It's like as much as I didn't care what others thought, it also stopped me from making friends, like because I was like, I always had this mental thing that people didn't like me, and even though that wasn't the case, because I got bullied growing up, I had a hard time letting go of that, and it always stuck with me, like nobody likes you, like people don't like you, maybe you're not good enough to be with them.
Temptation, devil, like
yeah,
it's like
and
that
you
shit,
do have
that inner
in the back of your head, and it's hard to push that away and like do what you're passionate about without that fear and stuff. And it's like, I also, the way I look at it, like being somebody who got bullied too, like, and I did go through a lot of personal stuff while that was going on, and it's like, I know like what you go through makes you who you are, and that's why me as a person, I try never to judge other people, because you don't know what they're going through. And I don't hold anything, I don't have any grudges towards anybody who did anything to me. I don't hold anything against anybody, like, not to be that girl that's like, oh, I've been through shit, like I've been through so much.
Because
like,
I think some people
exaggerate it a little bit.
It's like, I've been bullied. And
I hate
like,
I hate saying that, like I got bullied in elementary school, because like people are like, oh fuck,
shut up,
like shut the fuck up, like somebody probably called you fat once, like, get over it, like, but it's not like that. And it's like, it's
the jokes that become too much.
And I hate saying like, oh, I've been through so much, but everybody does have their story. Everybody goes through things goes through the same thing that a lot of people don't know. Like there's so much about me that even some of my closest friends don't know. I didn't even know. Yeah. And I was wondering, because throughout high school, it's like every time I try to get closer with Liv, it just always ends up being like, oh fuck, I don't know. And I feel like, and now I know, what happened. I look back and like it was me. Like a lot of the time, I push people away because I was just not in a right mental space. And it's like, I don't know, when you go through things, and everybody goes through things, but it's a matter of how you handle it. But most people also have things that they're going through that causes them to act a certain way. My way of coping was just isolating. I never got too close to people. I always, I came back at the end of the day, I was all I had. And it was hard because of that, and it all relates to the fear of judgment and people not liking you and having your own personal stuff on top of it. And it just made me feel like, in the end, I felt like I had nobody. Like to this day, like I've graduated high school and I talked to maybe 3-4 people from high school, and that's I'm like, you need, though. Fuck, like sometimes I'm like, I don't know, like I had so many before. I had so many friends, like I could have done so much more, but like they weren't, because they had friendship is 50-50, and sometimes when you give, especially during high school, and you're not in the right mental state, you give that odd vibe, which makes people like me think that, oh, you know what, she doesn't care for me, I'm not gonna care for her. And if we're summing it up, like judgment, I think I was gonna talk about like tattoos, this whole thing, but I think judgment is such a huge theme in this whole podcast. And I feel like once you exit high school and you have these certain handful of friends, that's all you need. Like this Thanksgiving, I'm like, you know what, I feel like people don't think enough. It's Thanksgiving, by the way, yesterday, just to let you know. But when you guys see this, I think it's gonna be like November or something. People need to know that you mean something to their life, right? So I'm like, you know what, why hide it? Everyone thinks that sensitivity is so I don't know the word for it, but everyone wants to avoid it because it's such a bad persona. It's like when you're sensitive to someone, when you're not strong, especially as a guy, people like to step over you. But it's like showing that sensitivity to your friends, like showing them that you care for them and you appreciate their presence is so important, because I think all the friends that I message, I want you to know that I appreciate you and all the memories that we shared together. And it's so much more, because when you put that in your head, it's kind of like, you know what, I respect this kid too, and I knew it, and most of them messaged me a whole paragraph back, showing me like their love and their appreciation, and it makes you feel good. And I sometimes I just wonder why people hate
on other people. Like that whole thing, it felt so good just showing them that I care for them, you know? And then them, they're
feeling that reciprocation,
you know, and then
too.
their messages back. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I should share. And I felt with these conversations that I have with people and them knowing that I respect them and I knowing they respect me, it's kind of like, it's such a great feeling. And I feel like Thanksgiving is such an important holiday because people I never did it before. And now I'm always going to do it because it is a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and I like spreading it. And spreading love is such an important thing because no matter what you do, if you create good vibes for people around you, if you spread love, people will hate no matter what. But as long as you love yourself and respect the people around you and not judge, and it's hard not to judge, right? Everyone has that little thing, like sometimes I judge, right? It's normal, it's natural. But having love is such an important thing in my life growing up. Because a lot of people didn't like me for some sort of reason because I was too nice. It's like, you can't win.
I just feel like being in high school, like it's such, not just high school, but school settings, friend groups, like there is a lot of pressure. And it's like, I could never understand why it was so difficult to have that sense of acceptance. Like, not even just personally, but I was very observant. Like, I always observed what other people were kind of doing, what they were going through. Even, I feel like I was that friend that everybody came to for advice. They would all come to me and be like, Liv, like, what do you think? Like, I need your help. Stuff like that. So it's like, it was always just such a hard thing to be accepted, to be liked by everybody, to fit in and to, like, feel a part of, like, some sense of community.
You can't fit in.
And it's hard. And my problem was growing up, I guess I had to grow up very fast. I've always felt like
same here,
very in tune with myself. I've always been a little bit ahead in a way. Like I understood things that it's like no 12-year-old should understand what this is like to go through.
See, that's why I have you here, because I know that we have the same thought process, same mindset. Yeah. We were grown up a little too fast.
And that's like, I had a hard time because I always felt like I was a little bit more forward than the people that I was surrounding myself with. And that's what also held me back too, is like I felt like I could never have a genuine connection. It's very difficult for me to find a genuine connection with somebody, like somebody that's on the same thought process as me. And being a very spiritual person as well, like you want to like raise those, like I know so much about, I've learned, I've researched, I've taught myself so much about like the vibrations you carry, the kind of aura you have as a person.
And people think, vibrations, but that's how we hear. That's literally how we hear.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I got a vinyl. The vibrations of the vinyl are so much more sentimental, and you feel it rather than hear it.
And it's like so many people are like, oh my god, like shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? Like, because it just, again, like the whole astrology thing, the whole crystals thing, how I was talking about before, the repetitive numbers, it sounds like such a reach, thing. You know? Yeah, and it's something that you're judged for, almost like, oh my god, this fucking, like, reality, like, click in a little bit. Yeah. And people think that way, but it's like, I had a hard time forming those connections, you know, having those genuine friendships that you could grow with, because I always felt like those people were bringing me down and, like, holding me back a little bit.
Did you overcome it?
I still, like, I do have friends and I do have people in my life that really, really do work with me. They make me feel up. But there are some friends, like, even people I grew up with, and I'm like, holy shit, like, you're so negative. And you're so stuck in, like, this mindset. You haven't grown. And it's like, I love these people. And I want to try and help them, but you can't help people when they're not able to accept it. They're unable to acknowledge that something may be wrong or that there may be something to change. I was very stubborn. I'm a very, very stubborn person. And if somebody were to tell me, like, hey, I'm just trying to help you, I'm trying to get you out of this, like, talk to me, like, 3 years ago, and I would say, what the fuck, why are you judging me? Like,
you just gotta grow.
And it's just a matter of, like, your mindset, how you feel, like, and understanding who you are, like, that self-identification, understanding who you are, what you like, what you enjoy doing, what you aspire to be. It's such an important part, especially during this time of your life. Like, you're going through so many changes. You need to really be in tune with yourself before you can really be around other people and, you know, make the most of your relationships with others. And you also have to look, like, what am I doing? Like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to be represented by?
That's why you live, right?
And that's, like, back to the whole topic of symbolism. Like, it's so important to understand these symbols in your life. It's so important. I think identification and symbolism in your life is key, because, like, without it, what do we kind of have? Without your connections to the people in your life and the things that you're attached to, without all of those outer like, who are you? What are you without your connections to other people and your attachment to these things? So it's like, it really makes you think, like, if you don't think about your friends, you don't think about your family, you don't think about your hobby, who are you and what do you have to offer? Well, why are you here? What is your purpose?
That's a cool way of thinking about it.
It's so, yeah, and it's like, when I thought about that, I was like, oh my God, like, who am I without my attachment to my friends? Who am I without, you know, my dog, you know?
People
like,
seem to rely on everything. It's like...
You rely on that identification through things you're associated with, but you really need to think, like, who am I at the end of the day? What do I represent? What represents me? What do I have to offer? It's such a busy world. There's always so much going on. You get caught up in the little drama. He said this about me, and she saw me at this party with this guy, and you know, you get caught up in those little things when you don't realize, like,
there's so much more important.
There's so much more in life. There's so much more, like, there's such interesting things. Even, like, I'm studying psychology. You think about the brain, and it's like, you think about how many things have to go right in order to be a normally functioning human in society.
It's like,
and you think about, like, you think about society, you think about your ties to society, your ties to, like, whether you're a boy or a girl, you know, you're in a genderized society, and it's like, you think of, like, the impact that those things have, and if you don't know yourself, and you don't know your morals, your own values, you don't have that identification in yourself, you're always going to be constantly influenced by everybody else. You're going to let other people's opinions affect your morals, and you're going to be easy to manipulate. You're going to be easy to, well, if so many people agree with this, then I'm just going to agree with that because it makes sense if so many people. But if you end up adapting these morals because of society, as like, who are you? None of what you think is yours. None of... If you don't know yourself, you don't know what you believe, you don't have your own morals, it's like, at the end of the day, like, you're just a cluster of everybody else's thoughts, everybody else's emotions.
There's a quote that I wanna say before you finish
your
thought.
Go.
Yo, honestly, that was fucking fire.
Let's go.
That's a clip monologue right there. Whatever you said made so much sense, and it all goes back to the things that I said. That's what I love about it, right? It's not only just you just went on your own tangent about some random shit. It's like, it relates to it. It's like loving yourself, love yours, right? An unexamined life is not worth living. The fact that you need to know whether, you know, if you're depending on it or not. If you're latched on to someone, right, and you feel like they're your life, and then they get away from you, then you got that hole, and you're like, fuck, I gotta grab onto another person. And then they leave you. Oh, now I got another hole. And you're just
that
like,
was literally me in high school dating people.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you're latching on to so many people.
For, like, this identification.
And you're never really allowed to, you know, love yourself and appreciate yourself being together. Like, you know, once you love yourself, you don't need these other people to fulfill your hole. Right? You don't need it. You could do it your own. You could do it by yourself, right? And there's a quote from Orson Welles. It was in a Logic outro. It's like, we are lucky to be alive, but only if our lives make life itself worth dying for. Right? So whatever you were saying about being able to find who you are and the person's, like, who you latch onto, if they're important or not, and like your morals, and taking away all that, and it's like, what is your worth, right? What is your purpose? People that are all like, I want to kill myself, I'm suicidal, blah, blah, blah. It's like, they don't have anything to live for, right? They don't see their morals. They don't see the importance they have on other people's lives. And that's why it's so important to tell people how much they mean to them, because it's never too late.
I was talking to my friend, and I, like, randomly, I just went up to my friend and I was like, you know what, like, you're one of the, like, the best people in my life. Like, I hope you and I are friends forever. Like, I want you to be at my wedding. And then, like, months later, my friend told me, like, oh my God, like, do you remember when you said that to me? And I never thought anything of it. Like, it just came out randomly. I was like, you know what? I love you so much. I hope you're at my wedding one day. I want to be friends with you forever. Like, you're so important in my life. And then later he's like, Liv, like, if only you knew, like, I was having such a hard day. I was going through this with so-and-so. Like, I was going through drama, whatever. And, like, hearing you say that, like, and it stuck with them. And I was like, holy fuck, I forgot I even said that to them 3 months ago.
And it's so important.
And it's like, and I think about that too. Like, there's so many things that people have said to me, and it sticks with me. And, like, I always reflect back to it, and I bring it up, and I look back, and it's like, when you feel something, when your intuition is telling you to do something or act a certain way or do something for somebody, just follow it.
The gut feeling is God telling you what to do. It's leading, right? You always follow your gut feeling because it's like, that's your impulse decision. The impulse decision is always right, you know? Anyways, we could sum it up there. I feel like this was a put together
long.
One. It's probably one of my longest, but
really,
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna film a bunch.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you.
We'll
I
do
have
more.
so many thoughts to share.
Especially having these 2 cameras out of the way.
Yeah.
This is the first time I did it. It's like I could stare at you and be able to actually pay attention and give you eye contact.
This whole time I feel like I've been talking to you. Yeah, it's not like I'm talking to a camera. Like, it felt so genuine and raw. So I just want to say thank you. Of course. A lot of these thoughts are just things I think about to myself and I never say out loud because I don't know. And a lot of people will relate to it.
I learned something new. I hope you did too, and I hope everyone watching did too.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, Animal Whisper 1 on TikTok, Olivia Brunato on Instagram. I might make a YouTube channel because now I'm all comfortable and I'm like, wow, I want to talk. Like, just follow me, add me on socials, whatever.
But it's very hard to talk in front of the camera alone. It's a lot easier to talk. I
try to film TikToks and I'm just like, oh my god. I'm so judgmental about myself too. Like, I'm like, oh my god, why do you look that way? Like,
this judgmental thing is going to be the title of this episode because it's so important, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's a huge thing in high school too. Anyways, thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.